Hey Wellness Crew, hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me on today's practice. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and begin in mountain pose. Taking a few deep breaths here. We're going to let ourselves fall forward into a forward fold. We're going to go ahead and step our feet back so we can get into plank. Coming into hovering. So only the palms of our hands and the balls and toes of our feet are in contact with the mat, nothing else. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath to get into downward dog. Really pushing through those palms. Coming back into plank. Into hovering. Into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Back into plank. Hovering. Upward dog. And tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Walking our hands in. Bringing our feet closer together, having a slight bend in our knees, raising our arms up to reverse swan dive up, and coming into mountain. Having several deep breaths. Falling forward into forward fold. Walking our hands forward into plank. Coming into hovering. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Coming back into plank. Hovering. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Plank. Hovering. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping our right foot forward, the left one meets it, forward fold. And slowly rolling up, coming into mountain. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Then falling forward into forward fold. Relaxing the neck. Stepping our feet back to get into plank. To hovering. To upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Back into plank. Into hovering. Into upward dog. Tucking the toes underneath for downward dog. Plank. Hovering. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Bringing our knees to the mat, spread out so we can get into child's pose. And we're going to go ahead and come down to the mat, bringing our right knee bent to our right side. Have our left leg nice and straight behind us. We're going to come up onto that left knee, extending that right leg, and bring it back down. Bending that knee, and bringing it back down. We're going to go ahead and bring that right leg straight, bend the left knee, and same thing on this side. Bend that back knee, straighten out the one that started bent. Bringing both knees to the mat, we're going to go ahead and extend our arms out for puppy dog. You can have your chin or you can have your forehead on the mat, whatever works best for you. We're going to go ahead and come back onto our bodies again, bringing our right knee to the right side of our body, having our left leg straight behind us, and then reversing that position. Switching sides. Coming onto our knees, we're going to go ahead and bring our left arm through that space inside of our right arm for threading the needle, getting a nice stretch, getting a bit of a spinal twist as well. And switching sides. So bringing that right arm through the left. And coming back to being on our body, bending that right knee, leaving that left leg straight for now, and pushing up and switching. It feels so gross because I'm so sweaty on this mat, and when I hear my leg like hitting the mat again, I'm like, oh, that sounds so sloppy. So I'm so sorry if you can hear that. And coming back onto those knees, we're going to go ahead and stretch out our forearms a little bit. So first we're going to start with our fingers facing the same direction as our toes, not towards our toes, but the same direction as our toes. So our fingers are going to be facing that way. Now we're going to go ahead and turn our fingers towards our toes. Nice tall chest. And coming back onto the front of our bodies. Bringing that right knee into a bent position on the outside of your right side, having that left leg straight behind you, and then have them switch positions. Switching legs. All right, and then from here, we're going to go ahead, bring our knees out, have our heels either underneath our knees or more inside. Come onto our forearms for frog. Wow, those were two huge pops. Oh my gosh. Wow. If you want to, you can also do kind of like a metronome type thing with your upper body. Still pushing back with your forearms, like pushing your butt back. but kind of, moving around a little bit gently. Like you're trying to bring your shoulder towards your knee. A little bit longer. All right, coming back to the front of our bodies, safely coming out of frog position. This is just covered in sweat. So, right knee out to our right hand side, left leg is straight back. We flip the script, come back down, switch sides, flip the script, come back down. And now we're going to go ahead and come into a seated position. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin with boat, just in a few different variations, okay? So there's a real basic one where you have your fingers, not your palms, but your fingers on the mat, and you bring your heels up off the mat just a little bit, okay? And then bringing the heels back down. So we'll do each variation 2 times. I'll be nice. All right, ready? And releasing. Just having gratitude for being able to breathe. Unless you have allergies or something. My bad. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and come into the bent knee boat. And bringing our feet down to the mat. Almost kind of, rounding your back and giving your back a little bit of a stretch. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead, come back into bent knee boat. And relaxing those feet down. And going ahead and coming into straight leg boat. And bringing those feet down. Coming back into straight leg boat. And relaxing those feet down. We're going to go ahead and have our feet touching each other, the bottoms of our feet at least, bringing them in close to our crotch area, and falling forward. Allowing your neck to relax and your head to fall forward. And slowly rolling up, we're going to go ahead and get into that really deep squat position. Yes, I used to know the name of this position and it's lost on me. It's been lost for several videos. We're going to go ahead and place our hands down, bring our butt up, and we're going to hinge from our hip to come up. So we're going to do just a couple of balance positions. The first one should be pretty easy. The second one, we'll just see how it goes. So we're going to start with putting all our weight on our left foot. We're going to grab at our right knee and hold our right knee up as we balance on our left foot. If you want to make it a little bit extra challenging, you can extend one of your arms out. But we're getting a stretch and we're balancing at the same time, so that's why I do need weight on the right leg. And bringing it down. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the left leg, with the left leg bent, but we're on our right foot. And bringing that left leg down, grounding in our left foot, bringing that right leg up. And switching sides. I'm like, no, I gotta save it, I gotta save it, I gotta save it. Have to. I was talking with one of my best friends yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about lupus. And, you know, it's just when you share stories with someone that you care about so much that has the same diagnosis, and you learn like, oh yeah, balance is such a big thing and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's exactly why I do yoga. I was like, I may not be perfect, but I'm not aiming for that, you know. It's unfortunate that my balance is affected because of it, but I'm okay with looking silly. I think I've proven that several times now. Really good. Nice stretch on that right leg. And grounding the right foot, lifting up that left leg, nice and bent. And bringing that left leg down. Okay, so for this, you can grab at your leg pretty much wherever you want. I just want the ankle in and of itself to be avoided and the knee in and of itself to be avoided as well. So above or below, okay. But it's just going to depend on your flexibility. So what we're aiming for is as straight of a leg as you can get and your hand on your foot. Bringing it back down, switching sides. Bringing it back down, shaking out those legs. I voodoo banded yesterday. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's basically sort of like a wrap that you put, but you put it super tight around whatever area of your body. Well, I did my biceps and triceps. I did my quads and my hamstrings, and it made a significant difference. So yeah, we're back to stretching out that right leg. And releasing that right foot, grounding, grabbing that left foot. Yeah, voodoo banding is the way to go. Okay, our last balance pose. I've been wanting to do this, but I just keep forgetting because everything's, you know, free flow these days. So you're gonna have your feet or your legs positioned in eagle position, right? Wrapped around. Oh, I'm so sweaty. Maybe I won't be, oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But let me explain it to you anyways. So you would have your legs in eagle position, right? Your knees are bent. You're gonna come forward and with your fingers interlaced, be like that. And then, but also have the eagle legs with it. So if I don't do the full wrap around, I can kind of show you. Probably a good modification, bringing those interlaced fingers to the small of your back, bending at those knees. And for now, we'll just, you know, cross the left leg over the right, come forward, and then bring those hands away from your back. And awesome. So ideally you'd be able to do the full eagle, but again, I'm just too wet. Wet from sweat and this crazy humidity. Whew. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go back into plank. We're going to bring our right knee up to the outside of our right elbow. Downward dog. Plank. Bring our left knee to the outside of our left elbow. Downward dog. Plank. Knee. 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 Downward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Bringing your knees out and down and coming into child's pose. All right, so from here, we're going to come onto our back. We're going to extend our right and our left arms out, palms facing down. We're going to have our left leg come over and around our right if we can. And then we're going to fall to the right hand side, but leaving both of our shoulders in contact with the mat. Bringing it back to the middle, switching legs. Now the right is going to wrap around the left, making sure your shoulders, your arms, your palms are in contact with the mat as you let your legs fall to the left hand side. And yes, you will get back pops on this one. I got two, but I got one that was like super loud. And we're going to bring it back to the middle. We're going to go ahead, wrap that left leg around the right, and let your knees, your legs fall to the right hand side. And bringing it back to center, wrapping that right leg around the left, letting the knees, the legs fall to the left hand side. Bringing it back to the center, we're going to go ahead, bring our feet together, bringing the heels close to the groin area, bringing our palms facing up towards the sky. Or if you need some assistance in a stretch to open up your inner thighs, you can always weight your legs down with your arms and your hands. All right, we're going to go ahead and come into a bridge position. So lifting up our bottoms, bringing it back down, bringing our knees in towards our chest. Bridge, knees towards our chest. Bridge, knees towards our chest. Bridge, let's hold it a little bit longer. Knees towards our chest. Bridge, 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 hold, hold, hold. All right, knees to our chest. Hold for just a sec. Bridge, and knees towards our chest. Okay. From here, we can go ahead and get into Shavasana. So we're going to have our feet, our legs are open. Our palms are facing the sky. We are expressing gratitude for this practice, for yourself for completing it, for the energy that aligned for this to come together. And allowing yourself to have a nice, deep, relaxed breath. Allow your body to soak in the progress that it made today. And definitely think about looking up voodoo banding. Extending out one of our arms, bringing our knees over, coming up to a seated or a kneeling position. Again, I am so grateful that you joined me today. It always means the world to me when I'm getting, more likes and comments and subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you so very, very, very much. So thank you. I mean, I truly appreciate it. I love the conversations we get to have on live streams. Like, it's amazing. So anyways, I'll see you on the next video. Be well, stay wild.